Hello and welcome back. I hope my audio is synced up because this streaming service has been very weird. So if my audio is not synced up, I'm sorry. Regardless of that, welcome back to the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show on the planet. You are watching Daily Dive. I'm your host, Michael Carvelis, live in Guyton, Georgia. It is Wednesday, April 9th, 2025. We are live on 12-Ounce Sports via YouTube, X, Twitter, and Roku and Fire TV. Reminder to subscribe to the 12-Ounce Sports YouTube channel for other great shows and live sports. On today's awesome show, again, I pray that my audio is synced up because it was glitching before the show. So if it's not synced up, we're going to have another hell of a show here. On today's awesome show, we're going to get into the MVP race. A new player entered the chat from me this weekend, but I feel like we're kind of solidifying that award, if you will. We'll also get into weak but powerful, the 4 contenders' strengths and weaknesses heading into the playoffs. Of course, they're still 2 weeks away, but you get it. And of course, my power rankings, in other words, my top 8. I'll say it one last time and I won't say it again. I really cannot stress you enough how much I hope my audio is synced up right now. So if it's not, we're going to have a fun time today. Or we're going to have a fun time regardless, but yeah. Alrighty, folks. We want to first let you know this show is presented by the ticketing platform at 12ouncesports.com. Head to 12ozsports.com and check and click the tickets tab to where you can experience the National Lacrosse League for less. By doing so, you help support us and again, get your tickets for less. Thank you, Donovan Lloyd. And I'll get to that other question you mentioned later. First, I want to do this. We got to talk about the MVP candidates heading after week 19. I know I teased this as award races. We're just going to do MVP on this show today. Folks, Connor Fields, it feels like, is the MVP of this campaign. Now, unlike other media people, I am not going to sit here and say that I'm not going to sit here and say that everything's locked up. Like, there's so many people campaigning for Frank Scigliano being goalie of the year, and I am 1,000% uncertain how a person, I don't know if it, like, a lot of times, and again, I love broadcasters to death, but there are so many of them over this past weekend that were like, oh, Frank Scigliano goalie of the year, or this coach is so great, and it's like, not true, also not true. It's like we have to be honest with ourselves here. Just like Frank Scigliano is not goalie of the year, I think Dylan Ward should have that mantle, or Zach Higgins. You can't, there's still 2 weeks left. So when I say Connor Fields is solidifying himself, 1, I don't have a vote, and 2, I'm still leaving the door wide open. But Connor Fields had another great game. I know Ryan Smith does a lot of the heavy lifting on the power play, scoring goals. But it feels like to me, like Connor Fields' loose balls, along with all those points and the goals scored, it's like everything you could ask for. Everything you could ask for a forward being named MVP, he's doing it. Number 2 for me is still going to be Dane Smith. And I had a hard time putting Dane Smith above Zach Currier. Because I do believe Josh Byrne and the Bandits crew are a lot more valuable to the Bandits than Ryan Smith and Ryan Lansbury. Even though those players are amazing, we know Connor Field stirs the drink. We know Dave Smith stirs the drink in Buffalo. But 29 goals is not a lot. Like, it's good. But it's not like, wow. Like, you're not over here saying that's MVP numbers. Like, we got to see 40 goals. If Dave Smith doesn't hit 40 goals, is he the MVP? Like, does he even get consideration? It feels like he has to hit like at least 35. And they got 2 games left. I don't know if he hits 35. God forbid if he hits 40. That'd be a magical little run. But I still think Dave Smith, because he's on the best team, gets the credit there. Number 3 for me is Zach Currier. I know Zach Currier's team lost, but Lord have mercy. 171 loose balls, 16 goals, 26 assists. Like, what doesn't he do? Oh, and 28 calls turnovers. That's an absurd. We keep saying video game numbers. That does not do it justice, okay? It doesn't. What he's doing, it's like when Russell Westbrook in the NBA, I always use NBA references. When Russell Westbrook in the NBA had like a 20-20-20 game, it was like on 2K that is almost impossible to achieve on, like, you have to go on rookie mode. Same thing with, like, Zach Currier is putting up rookie mode numbers. It's not just video game, it's rookie mode numbers. And if you're a gamer, you know. 4th place, Dylan Ward. He's going to stay put. They're still afloat in the standings. Listen, guys, my 5th player was going to be Curtis Dixon. It's Keegan Ball. Curtis Dixon's team, despite the win, is still not in the playoff spots. The Roughnecks are number 9. By virtue of my little bylaws here on Daily Dive, every time I do these, you have to be in the playoffs, or else, or value goes out the window. Like, value doesn't make any sense at that point. I want to get to some of these comments. No, they don't. Like in other sports, they don't. The leagues claim they don't. But, of course, the leagues also, like, not just the NLL, but so many leagues, like, release the award winners later on. Like, why are we doing this? Do it after the year is over, or after the regular season is over. That way players can regroup. MJG79 says CDB could easily get goaltender of the year if they go off of save percentage and impact on teams. I made this point on Twitter. I think 6-game sample size, when it's all said and done, is going to be the Achilles heel. And then it has to matter. Just like with Frank Scigliano missing 2 games and his backup comes in there and does the trick. I'm not saying what the Warriors have done with Del Bianco has not been impressive. But I do think Del Bianco can probably crack a top, like a 3. Like, there's always like 3 finalists. I know, like, voters usually submit their 5, and then, like, there's 3 finalists. I can see Del Bianco sneaking in number 3, but we can't pretend that 6 games isn't going to matter. Because when you have Nick Rose, when you have Zach Higgins, when you have Dylan Ward, when you have the Frank Scigliano apologists out there, not saying Frank Scigliano has not had a great year, you have Matt Vince, like, those guys have to matter. Okay, they had an entire season sample size, and Del Bianco, to his credit, has been spectacular, but it's the blame us on the Roughnecks, actually, for holding him hostage. Like, if that's, I say all it took, lightly, but if that's all it took to get Del Bianco off the couch and into Vancouver, Calgary Roughnecks should be ashamed, and they should be investigated for being jerks. Like, I know they're not gonna, like, no one's gonna do that, but it's like, come on, guys. Again, a little side tangent there, but I just found it weird. Yeah, same thing with Donovan Lloyd. Do you think Del Bianco goes 6-0, keep similar stats? Again, it's a great conversation. If, like, I did not get the other graphics ready in time, that was my full disclosure there. My rookie race would have been Dyson Williams. Adam Patres jumped to number 2 again after coming back and lighting up the scoreboard. Brandon O'Neill is now number 3. Because I know a lot of people are going to say, well, Will Johansson. Well, Brandon O'Neill is almost identical to Dyson Williams in everything. And that has to matter. So Dyson number 1, Patres number 2, O'Neill number 3, Johansson 4, and I'll still give Mike Robinson number 5. Goalie of the year for me right now is going to be Dylan Ward is still number 1. Number 2 for me is going to be Zach Higgins. Number 3, Frank Scigliano. Number 4, Matt Vince. And I'm gonna keep Del Bianco number 5, but I keep saying it. I overlooked Nick Rose last week. I know the Rush hit 11 posts against him, but he still put up 57. Like, take the 11 posts away, which is a weird stat. They actually count towards shots on goal and saves. Nick Rose would have had 46 saves in that game. No big deal, right? Okay, that's funny. I'm not even going to go there. No, so MJG79 mentioned MVP shouldn't just be judged on goals. I don't know if you're late to what I said right there. But Dane Smith, I just feel like the stat line he's putting up, if Connor Fields and Curtis Dixon and Keegan Ball are like dwarfing you in goals and their assists are not far behind, that has to matter. Like, at some point when you're nitpicking these awards, like who to put up on top, you have to consider, one, Dane Smith's roster. Same thing with Connor Fields, even though I think Connor Fields has had an incredible, he's been actually scoring goals. But to me, a lot of those assists are hockey assists, and that's what frustrates me now. While Dane Smith does lead the league in primary assists, he cannot go the rest of the year scoring less than like 32. He has to be up there in goals, at least a little bit. You can't do that when, again, Connor Fields and Keegan Ball and Curtis Dixon, who might enter the chat, are going to have like way more goals than you. Like, the goal scoring has to matter. You can be a great passer all day long, but no one's giving Chris Paul the MVP in basketball. I'm sorry. And lacrosse is a very similar sport. Again, Zach Curry, if the Seals had a better record, man, Zach Curry, he's up there. Yeah, we'll leave it there. When we come back to the show, I'm going to talk about the 4 weaknesses and strengths of the following teams: the Bandits, the Rush, the Nighthawks, and the Warriors. My 4 contenders in the NLL. And then, of course, we're going to wrap it up with power rankings. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick commercial break. You're watching Daily Dive.
Don't go anywhere. Daily Dive will be right back.
Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got them with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them.
Yeah.
Baseball at every level. Every Power 5 matchup is available. Don't forget, costumes and paint are optional. What's that? You want to go to Broadway? We have those too. Want to jam out? Every concert, every artist. That's right, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got the tickets for less. 12ozsports.com/tickets. That's 12ouncesports.com/tickets.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money, and we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
America, get back on track with Dust Pod's Performance Stabilizer. When applied to roadways, it kills dust and strengthens the integrity of the road. Easily applied by mixing with water, Dust Pods is the future in polymer stabilization. Call 1-833-DUSTPODS or visit dustpods.com today.
Daily Dive is back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
These comments are incredible. Donovan Lloyd said, take Keegan Ball out of Vancouver and they essentially have no offense. I pretty much agree with that, and I've said it before, and I hate doing this to Adam Charlambides because I don't know the guy, and I've never even interacted with him or paid attention much to him. But Adam Charlambides this year is like their second-hand man on the offense, like their 1B, if they're option 2, and he's like shooting really low despite having high-volume shots, and he's got a bunch of turnovers. Like, you were right about Keegan Ball. Even if Del Bianco was there, like, Keegan Ball would be a big loss. Kai the goalie, you're insane. He's just, first of all, shout out to Kai the goalie, who's like on record being 14 years old. Says Steve Nash won the MVP. I don't know how he knows that, but I'm proud of him for saying that. Also, there's arguments that Steve Nash should have never won the second MVP, even though he did win one. That's another can of worms. Donovan Lloyd says his first season watching the NLL, he has no idea how it's not more popular. He watches every major sport. Lacrosse has the product. I've said it. There's a reason I do this show. I don't do it because the NLL has shown me anything from a business aspect, but I just know what I see on the turf, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be one of the ones like, okay, this will be another stupid side tangent by me, and I shouldn't do it. I said for years, I was roasted. I get roasted a lot on Twitter. I was destroyed on Twitter for claiming the WNBA just needs some more talented people. Well, they're not dunking. And I was like, guys, it takes like a couple of stars. I said they play a good game. They're super competitive because they don't make millions of dollars. Caitlin Clark showed up, and now it's like everyone, if you hate on the WNBA, now you're an idiot. I'm like, well, hold on now. What? So I take that and multiply it times 1,000 with me in the National Lacrosse League. Like, I knew when I watched this league for the first time, it's like, oh, God. Like, 20 years from now, I'm telling people, 20 years from now, we're going to all be laughing at this moment. This will be the equivalent of our 60s, 70s, and 80s NBA. The occasional star, like a bunch of milk workers and plumbers, like the Michael Jordan era, like the plumbers. This is that era right now. And I love the athletes we're seeing, but I'm telling you, 20 years from now, we're going to be happy we watched this sport. We're going to be the old guys claiming how Dane Smith was the GOAT. It's like Jeff Teat Jr. will be a thing. So, yeah. Oh, thank you for the comments. This is great. So, reminder to go to Spotify and search Daily Dive. Listen, I don't want to pat myself on the back because it's not fair. I went on Spotify and uploaded both episodes yesterday, but, I would pat myself on the back if I was actually on time. But for an audio-only podcast version of the show, head to Spotify and search Daily Dive. Yep, Kai the goalie, good point. Steve Nash is part owner of the Desert Dogs. He's also Canadian, which makes a lot of sense why he likes lacrosse. Wayne Gretzky likes lacrosse too. Anyways, let's get into this now. It is time for a segment I have to call Weak But Powerful. And I put Josh Byrne on this graphic just because it's, I don't want to say sexy, but it just looked better. I was going to put like Warren Hill or like Frank Scigliano, but I thought those were a bit too much of a joke. So, Josh Byrne, the reason he's on this graphic on like some bodybuilder, not seeing Josh Byrne's body, it might look better than that actually. I'm not trying not to be weird here. But the point is, Josh Byrne is balancing the strengths and the weaknesses of the contenders, okay? So basically, my thought process was, every team has its strengths and its weaknesses, right? Even if you're the Buffalo Bandits, we're going to get to it. But I feel like calling out like people like Warren Hill was just not going to be a fun segment. So I was originally going to do like every team's weaknesses, but we're going to do weak but powerful. It's optimistic. It kind of tells the story, but it's not like tearing people down. And I feel like because I've been, coming to God. I'm kidding. That's not okay. I was going to make a joke about being more positive. It's not going to happen. The segment is me saying these teams are really good. But exactly, these teams are really good. But what are their weaknesses? Like, what's going to hold them back? Okay. Again, my top 4 teams, and I will not give you the order just yet, but it's basically like the Rush, the Nighthawks, the Warriors, the Bandits. Okay, everyone knows the Bandits are number one. Newsflash, because I'm doing top 8 power rankings next. Topic at hand. Okay, so here's the thing. We're going to do the Saskatchewan Rush first, because I think they're one of 4 teams that could win the NLL Cup this year. Their biggest strength, I'm gonna say it's like, what's the word? Continuity. I should have wrote this down. It's teamwork is too light. I'm trying to think of like a word. Continuity, maybe, if that's a thing. It's like the Saskatchewan Rush for me have got a bunch of guys like Robert Church, of course, is the veteran. You've got Ryan Keenan, who's low-key been there for a while. You've got Austin Shanks. You've just got some good, I'm just going to say continuity. Continuity for the Rush. You know what you're going to get from them every night. They're consistent. They've been there. They're team guys. Like, there's no big stars, which is also why that's going to be their biggest weakness. But I just feel like for the good thing for the Rush is, yeah, like they're meshing together. No one stands out, and that's a good thing. But like I said, like the other day, like it also is a bad thing. Like Robert Church is phenomenal. Core. I like that. Great core. Get it, Josh Byrne? Okay. But no, thank you, MJG79 for that. But for real, I think despite their core, I think the Rush, I don't know who's going to step up. And for some teams like the Rochester Nighthawks or the Buffalo Bandits, that's a good problem to have. For the Rush, I don't think Austin Shanks will score a sock trick again this season. Not saying many players do. I see Ryan Keenan being a great passer, but so is Dane Smith. Even Dane Smith needs a Josh Byrne, who is going to take over when it matters. If the tough gets going and the going gets a little bit sticky, I don't know who's the guy for the Rush. Again, Robert Church has been there for so long, but it's like, I'm just going to go to the age of Robert Church real quick. I don't think it's going to emphasize my point, but it's going to make me help. It's going to give me some courage here. Or at least, not courage. It's going to give me a little bit of pat on the back. He's 33, but if we're being honest, I'll just do it. Okay, this makes my point. Robert Church, the previous 3 years, scored 38 goals, 51 goals, and 45 goals. This year he's got 23, and he's only played 11 games, but that might be a thing too. That did not help at all. My point is, I don't think Robert Church is the Josh Byrne equivalent. They need to have someone reliable to step up, and I just don't know who it's going to be. Good Lord, that's enough about the Saskatchewan Rush. So the next team, let's do the Vancouver Warriors next. Their biggest strength is that Christian Del Bianco, listen, Matt Finch is great and all, he's also 40 or 42. Good Lord. Christian Del Bianco is the best goalie in the NLL. It's not, I don't know if it's close. Like, Dylan Ward's been great, but Christian Del Bianco has come back and is like, I don't know if it's because of the long rest, but even then, he was playing with a team in the ALL West. Like, come on, guys. Del Bianco is a step above other goalies, and that's their biggest strength. Their weakness for Vancouver, the offense is still a little bit of a question for me. Now, when your goalie's allowing 4 goals, sure, great job. Only the second time Del Bianco's ever done that. So, not saying you can't hold him to sub 10, but I still, part of my brain is like, earlier in the year, I know, like, even Kurt Mawowski has emphasized, well, he's also said what I said, where, yeah, Del Bianco getting the ball at the floor, 2 seconds quicker helps, but this team's offense was absolutely horrendous with Aiden Walsh. And I don't think that Del Bianco suddenly makes them the offense we need them to be. So Vancouver's offense is still, it's like a lowercase question mark, which does not exist, but it's a question mark that has to be talked about because the history is there. Donovan Lloyd said Reed Bowering has had an underrated season. Best defense in the NLL with CDB. They're so hard to break down. I don't trust the offense either. And again, I don't know if I'm still harping on the sample size from the Aiden Walsh era, but I think Aiden Walsh had a really good season from what looks to be just patchwork and just bridging the gap, knowing that what we all thought should have happened earlier. But I don't think Del Bianco just suddenly fixed it, even though I've said it kind of feels like that. I don't. In the playoffs, when the Buffalo Bandits slow things down, we'll see it. You'll see the Warriors score 9 goals, and you're hoping it's in the game Del Bianco has allowed less than 9. So Vancouver's strength is their goalie. Their weakness is, did the goalie fix everything? I'm not sure. Rochester. The Rochester Knighthawks are one of my contenders because I feel like they're like the Toronto Rock without being Toronto Rock. Like they're always being beat by the Bandits. And it's like, that's kind of like the Rock, but everyone gives the Rock so much more credit. Rochester's got Connor Fields, Ryan Lansbury. Their biggest strength is the offensive onslaught they can put on anybody. Like, they made Zach Higgins look silly. And I know they only scored like 12 goals. It's still like there were some plays in that game offensively where it's like, Ryan Smith is going to score a power play goal. Everyone knows that. Black Bears couldn't stop it. And he had 2 of them, I think. At least 2. May have had another one later on if I didn't catch it. But like everyone knew that was coming. And as she said, it kept on coming. Now, for Rochester, guys, I strongly believe this. And I'll say, no one's going to like me in Rochester for saying this. I don't care. I love you guys, though. That musty, dusty, old arena that's literally, there was a news article released like a week or so ago after I talked about them possibly folding or relocating, and suddenly like a week later an article comes out. I'll pull it up. I should have retweeted that, actually, I didn't. The point is, the article from around the area said that MVP Arena was getting new ownership. Oh! Well, good luck with that musty, dusty, old piece of junk. I don't even know if Rochester fans like going there. Like, you think the players feel comfortable with their home field advantage? I don't. And when Rochester probably hosts a playoff game in a single elimination, 5,000 people ain't going to do the trick, man. I'm also one of those people who kind of says, you know what? Home field advantage shouldn't matter too much. But it does sometimes. And I'll put it this way. You would think that home field advantage doesn't matter too much until you see the discrepancy from Buffalo games versus Rochester. Oh, that's why. Like Panther City games, rest in peace. Rest in piss, I don't care. Those owners sucked. Panther City games versus Buffalo, that's why home field advantage matters. COVID games versus like what we have with the fans? Oh, because the nerves get going. So I think Rochester's home arena, and if that's your biggest weakness, more power to you. See, MJG79 says, Del Bianco brought confidence in the team and the goalie, Walsh is still a new keeper, just like Hutch does when he steps in for Hill. Comparing Del Bianco to Hutchinson is bold. I'm kidding, he didn't do that, but I was just making a joke. And Donovan Lloyd, to my Rochester point, and again, he's a new fan of the league. I agree. Rochester's arena is it's one of those things where it's like, why are you here? Like, your team is awesome, but it's like, man, that's not sustainable, and everyone knows it, but I'm just a hater who reports nothing but speculation. Sure, you got me. Okay. Finally, so the Buffalo Bandits. This is the part where I clip a reel from this moment, knowing people are going to get pissed off somehow because they live in Buffalo. And that's just what they do when their NFL team has... What? No. The Buffalo Bills have no. Guys, is that true? Can we get something in the comments confirming the Buffalo Bills have never won a Super Bowl? Yeah, I had to do that because I feel like for a fan base that's so spoiled by the Bandits, I feel like they're so sour because they know deep down the Bills are not. That's a side tangent because I knew they were going to love it if they saw this. Okay. Buffalo Bandits' biggest strength is every weakness is actually. I do championship pedigree, but that's boring. Every weakness they have is not that glaring. Like, that's their strength, is there are no weaknesses. Come on, man. But if I had to, I'm going to leave this on the screen, but if I had to pick a potential weakness for the Bandits, it would be, let's say Vancouver, or God forbid Rochester, or Saskatchewan, or Halifax. Let's say Georgia last year steals I don't see elimination. Let's do this. Let's say Rochester or Saskatchewan or Halifax or anybody somehow just squeaks out game 1 or game 2. Okay, that's not bad. Is it possible that Buffalo, even though when they're on it, I do believe 20 years from now, the Buffalo Bandits, we're going to look at this roster and just laugh at how the league even allowed this? We also have to realize that the NLL is full of guys who work 9 to 5s. Now, do I think Dane Smith and Josh Byrne are doing the equivalent of another guy from the Georgia Swarm? No. Like, do I think they have to go bust their butt at a warehouse or a plumber job? No. But do I think that sports are still not that? Sports are not your life right now. Like you want it to be your life. But the Buffalo Bears, everyone knows in the NLL, these guys, most of them have day jobs. So as great as the Bandits are, does that take a toll? Not saying losing a game would suddenly make your job like suck, but it's like, is it possible you get complacent because you have one back to back? And I'm not saying, I know they're competitors too, but there's some games when the Bandits do lose, it's like, that was really weird. How about this? Was it the Albany game? Did they lose to Vegas? I don't know why I'm having that in my head. Buffalo lost to Albany. I don't know why I thought Vegas. They I forgot that Vegas came back and the game was already out of hand. Albany! It's like, Albany was dead to rights and lost Alex Simmons. I don't care how good Albany was last year. They've sucked this year. But why did Buffalo lose that game? Just weird. Why did you get your asses kicked 17-11? It doesn't make sense. By the Calgary Roughnecks, it doesn't make sense. Calgary's a good team, guys. In all honesty, I've said it before, I'll say it again. The Buffalo Bandits roster is stupid talented. Years from now, when there's an actual hard cap, we're going to wonder, how is this possible? This team could easily, in my opinion, go 18-0 every year they play right now. But darn those unified standings. Darn those 9 to 5 jobs. And darn being back-to-back champions. Guys, sports right now has shown you the millionaires can't lock in and win, have a three-peat. Like, who do we have? We have the Chiefs that couldn't do it. And there was another sports team where it's like, wow, it didn't happen. And you're just confused. UConn basketball. Amen. UConn men's basketball. I know college sports is a little bit different. But I couldn't believe if the Chiefs are making millions of dollars in their entire life of sports, why are now I'm not saying there's an Eagles out there to beat the Bandits, but is there a team that's just going to just find a way to sneak a game and then sneak another one? It's possible. But is it going to happen? No. When we come back, I'm going to get to my contenders. Once again, I'll explain my power rankings on the other side. It's power rankings. It's only top 8. We're going to wrap this show up next. You're watching Daily Dive. That was a really fun segment.
Don't go anywhere. Daily Dive will be right back.
You need tickets to that next event? We've got them. That's right, tickets.12ozsports.com. Get you to any sporting event, concert, theater event that you can think of. And the promo code 12OZ or ROME gets you an additional discount. Don't feed the massive ticket corporate machine. Go to tickets.12ozsports.com and enjoy the show. America, get back on track with Dust Pods Performance Stabilizer. When applied to roadways, it kills dust and strengthens the integrity of the road. Easily applied by mixing with water, Dust Pods is the future in polymer stabilization. Call 1-833-DUST-PODS or visit dustpods.com today.
Daily Dive is back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I cannot express to you enough how cool it is doing this show and getting so many comments. It's just fun to discuss it and everything. I will try to stay more on topic for this last segment so we can wrap it up. But we appreciate all of you. MJG79, Kai the goalie. Hunter Smith, where are you, for crying out loud? Donovan, there's so many great people out there that have commented on those in the past. It's awesome. Reminder, go to 12onsports.com and click the tickets logo or go to 12onsports.com/tickets. Help us out, man. You know you're going to the next NLL game. You got to get your tickets for less, and it helps us with a little bit of commission on the side. Come on, man. Help us out. 12onsports.com. Click the tickets tab. And also, I should do a giveaway for like someone who like, if someone does the tickets, maybe I'll do, like, give me suggestions here. Maybe I could, like, reimburse the first, like one or two people that do it. Or maybe I could, like, give them, like a free merchandise or jersey. We got to do something that just, so that, because I know once you guys use it, you're going to like it. But I just want to mention, I just thought I'd mention that to people. All right. It is now time for Power Rankings. And if you're new to this show, or actually old to the show at this point, all year long I did a Power Rankings 1 through 14. That's fun, but the segment gets very quick and I can't discuss what I want to discuss. And we're going into week 20, okay? So these are just my top 8 teams. Like, I don't think these guys are all in the playoffs. I forgot if I did that or not. But basically, I don't care where they were all season for me. These teams right now can win the championship, and it's like as high as my highest chance of believing in them to the lowest chance. Okay, number 1. The Buffalo Bandits. No, come on, guys. Number 2. Maintain their number 2 stranglehold, the Vancouver Warriors, okay? Vancouver. With Christian Del Bianco, as long as their offense has a pulse, has the best chance, in my opinion, to beat Buffalo. I have bumped Rochester to number 3, and again, I didn't care about last week's top 8, but I realized, I actually bumped Rochester up. But again, that doesn't matter. I'm just saying for the sake of conversation, that's what happened. So Rochester, guys, Rylan Hartley, when healthy, with that offense in that musty, crusty barn, I'm telling you, man, Rochester is a team. If they clip, God forbid, a Bandits, or they upset a Warriors or a Rush, don't be surprised, because the only live money provider the Cross Talk Show host, this guy, now I can pat my back. I said it. Rochester's that good. I'm telling you right now. Number 4, Saskatchewan Rush. And again, this is not, sometimes the game results do not matter. This week they kind of did because some of the teams played each other. Saskatchewan being here's the roller coaster of emotions for Saskatchewan fans, if there are any left after they bought in for a couple of weeks in the stands. Saskatchewan won at Vancouver. I believe was that the last. I think Aiden Walsh may have played that game. I'm clicking on it right now. He did. Okay, well, I mean, he still had a good year, but they won at Vancouver. They played versus Buffalo, which is already a month ago, but is only like 3 games ago for them. They played versus Buffalo without Robert Church, who was on new daddy duty. They lost 9-7, but they were competitive. They walked into Georgia, a game that I was at, and won 8-7. At Halifax, they get their teeth kicked in 17-9. Versus Colorado, they're back. Austin Shanks sock trick. Ryan Lee was phenomenal. They win, like I said, 17-9. And Ryan Keenan saying, you know what? We knew we needed to make a statement. And what did you do the next game against Calgary? You didn't go anywhere. You didn't travel. You once again got your teeth kicked in. Saskatchewan, you're on fraud alert. I actually really love their social media team. As Eli Salama says on the Morning Shoot-Around podcast, new episode this Friday, by the way, he said, and I quote and impersonate, their social media person's a villain. Yeah, I agree. I don't care. Clip it. As Jake Elliott says, I'm telling you right now, Saskatchewan, you're on fraud alert. You can't get your butt kicked by Halifax, beat up, like you can't then bully Colorado, who's missing 2 stars, and then come turn around after that statement and getting back on track and get your butt kicked again. You're on fraud alert. I need to get that off my chest. Thank you. I love you, Saskatchewan. Halifax, number 5. The Warren Hill Drew Hutchison situation is such a comical thing to me because people who aren't named MJG79 will like, oh, you're just a hater. Screw it, I am. A hater of Warren Hill who doesn't show up any day of the week. Come on, man. It's like if the Georgia Swarm were a player, they'd be Warren Hill. God, I'm going to get so many clips today and just be destroyed on social media. That's okay. I've done it before. Calgary Roughnecks, if I had to choose any of these teams like most likely to rise, it's Calgary. Nick Rose, I know he's had those moments where he allows the outside shots. No one in the media wants to admit it. No players want to admit it. But the fans are very vocal about that. When you notice, they're like, oh, okay, that's a back-breaking goal. But Calgary Roughnecks, they're dogs, man. They're the team that's not in my top 4 that could very easily be number 2. And they beat the Bandits 1 game, okay? Number 7, the Seals. I'm almost out on the Seals this year. I want to get to this. My paperwork here, my season predictions. I had San Diego finishing 11-7, firmly in a playoff spot. They still might make the playoffs. But guys, I'm sending out a missing persons report for Chris Riglieri and the offense. Wesley Berg, to his credit, made a good point about the Seals were switching up the lineups in the season, and they looked like they were going to, get back on track. Had a couple of good games. They looked good. They're not Halifax. Halifax controlled that game, 13-10. Nope. Sorry, San Diego. Chris Riglieri is like, he's going to be awesome. But I keep saying he's 22. I got to give it maybe another year. Georgia Swarm, I'm so over. God, I'm going to the game next week. I hope none of them see it. Maybe I do hope they see this so I can just talk about it, Even though one of the Swarm coaches told me in person, you're a very funny and entertaining Twitter. I appreciate you, But come on, man. How does Mitch Jones go? I just have a question for him if Kai the goalie's still listening. He might have to go back to school at this point. If Kai the goalie's still listening, I just have a question. Like, how on earth does Georgia bait Mitch Jones into fighting, which I don't even think they could have predicted that, go up 6-1, and then get walked back down by the Wings, who had lost 8 straight games. Again, can't happen. So that's my top 8. Again, teams that I don't care where they are in the standings. I don't care where I had them the previous 17 weeks. The last 2 weeks, I've just been saying, who do I think right now, highest to lowest chance of winning the title? It's got to be them. And of course, in the playoffs, when we get the all 8 playoff teams, we're going to revamp it again to make sure I basically do my picks. And I'll say it I know Donovan Lloyd is new to this show, but basically, we did the last 2 years. The first year we did a bracket challenge, where basically I did a $100 gift card giveaway. If you could predict the person that could predict every playoff game correctly, including games 1, 2, and 3. I want people. I'll explain it later, but we're going to bring back our playoff bracket challenge, and I'll explain that later on. We'll do another gift card thing or whatever. How if Donovan Lloyd? I love when there's the little side chats in the comments. It's really funny to me. Donovan Lloyd said, "I think that travel to Halifax helps a lot for the Thunderbirds." Sure. MJG79 says, "Donovan, oh good lord, even the Halifax players have to travel. Think there is only 2. Oh, there's only 2 who live in the city. That makes a lot of sense. I found out from some very good Swarm players live up north. I'm like, what? Come on. MJG79 says Seals goaltender. Only thing that kept the Seals in that game. Sure, but 13 goals is 13 goals. I'm sorry, man. Donovan Lloyd says, is there anywhere to find upcoming NLL free agents? That's a good question, actually. The only thing I have is the current free agents. If you go on TymerLacrosse.com, that's TYMER lacrosse.com. Ty Mero actually does have a free agents list. I believe I had an article at one point for it's hard to find the free agents list, I'll put it that way. The NLL.com does us absolutely zero favors, even though I'm sure you've scoured the internet trying to find that. But TYMER lacrosse.com gives you a nice who are the current free agents. I know you're looking for upcoming, but yeah. Daily Dive LAX on social media to see the stories that Leroy is sharing, Coach Leroy is sharing on Instagram. You can also check out our graphics and predictions and other show updates, like if my job ever makes me miss a day again, which I was not happy about, or my car doesn't get the brake lights fixed. Again, we all have 9 to 5 jobs. The NLL players and the NLL media. Here we are. It's unbelievable. You can also go to the link tree in our social media bio, where you can find our shop, or dailydivelacks.creator-spring.com, which, to be fair, is a mouthful. The jokes write themselves. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. 12 on Sports. This has been the Wednesday edition. Is it Hump Day? Sure. Wednesday edition of Daily Dive. You guys have a great rest of your day. Cheers. I never say that. Bye.
Thanks for watching Daily Dive. See you next time.